Are you ready to start? I am. Start by praying, of course. Father in heaven, Lord, we invite you here. Our hearts are ready to hear from you. The words you have for us. The words that we need, that guides us, that helps us through life every day. We have the valleys, we have the hills, ups and downs. And we need you every day in the deep, in the top. Always need you, Lord. We call on to you in the good times and the bad times. We depend on you so you guide us, so we can be on the right path, so we can do your will, not my will, but yours. Help us, Lord, to see your will clearly, so we can travel on that path. Holy Spirit, you're here. Fill us all as we understand and receive your words to continue in our journey. Thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I praised too much, now I'm stuck. Yeah. My mom, I remember a long time ago, said, if you keep crossing your eye, it'll get stuck like that. It never happened, so. Or my mom said, if you keep eating the cake batter, you'll get salmonella poisoning. I'm fine. So I don't use that excuse on my kids, because I like to eat the batter with them. Why? Yeah, enjoy church, bring your popcorn, your candy, your drinks. I'm fine with that. But the point afterwards, you pick up your mess, that's it. You spill your coffee or your drink, bath it back there, wipe it up. Let a cleaning lady know about it. Sorry, I spilled. Would it be possible to turn wine back to water? Someone had a little bit too much. Last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, what did I preach about? Talk about emotions, right? Emotions, 1, 2, 3. Today I'm continuing that, part 4, emotions. And I talked about emotion. Sometimes they control us, right? Sometimes they don't. It depends on you. Depends how close you are with God and how much you give to God. I talked about this man in the Old Testament. Do you remember the name of the man? Joseph. Joseph. My middle name is Joseph. You know that? I hope I was named after him. But I talked about the story about him, how he maintained his emotions. It'd be tough not to lose your top. It'd be tough not to become depressed. Hide in the corner and cry and stay and do nothing. From prison to the second most powerful person on earth at that time. He talked about Joseph, his brothers, when he was 17 years old. His brother hated him. Why? Because of the coat, the fancy coat he had, his father gave him. But why did his father give him his coat? Loved him more. Favoritism. And I explained last week why he loved him more. Because he loved Rachel, right? He had 10 other kids with 3 other people. One with Rachel. And then, of course, he had another one, Benjamin. We'll talk more about him later soon. His brothers planned to kill him. What did I do to you, brothers? Yeah, a little bit of Cain came out of them. Actually, a whole lot of came out of them. They're ready to kill him. Of course, the oldest one maintained his emotions. I'm happy he did. So threw him in the well. He planned to go later and take him. Then his brothers went ahead and sold him to slavery. And I told you he had a wonderful dream that all of them would bow to him. They didn't like that. Now, being sold as a slave, his dreams, his brothers, they're apart. It seems like it's impossible, right? Of course, when God has a plan and you follow it, it will happen. And they became the second most powerful person under Potiphar, a commander of the Egyptian army. So it's pretty cool. He learned of the customs. He ran the household. He was so trusted that he let them alone. Potiphar didn't have to worry about nothing. Hey, this man is full of truth, a godly man. I don't have to worry about nothing. Very controlled and trusting. He worried about nothing. He was pretty much on top there. He had it all right there. But of course, Potiphar's wife liked him a lot. She wanted to sleep with him. But Joseph was like, no, 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 no. I couldn't do that. He resisted. Finally, the very last time, he grabbed him. But I couldn't do it against my who? The master of the house? No. The top master is who? God. I can't do this against my God. Then he ran away. Then the co got him in trouble again. And he was sent to prison. He's on top, down, up, down. But when you read, he trusted God. Now he's in prison. What's he going to do? I might as well just lay and die. No. He served. He did his best. He loved everyone there. And the jailer on top liked him. And it gave him control. It's a pattern. He ran the prison. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Genesis chapter 39, verse 22, verse 23. And the keeper of the prison committed Joseph's hand. All the prisoners were there. Whatever they did there, it was his doing. The keeper of the prisoner didn't have to worry about anything because he trusted Joseph. Because the Lord was with him. And whatever he did, the Lord made him prosper. So when you do everything in his name, you will prosper because his hand's on it. If you read more in the story, in chapter 39, the Pharaoh, Egyptian Pharaoh, he punished two people, the cupbearer and the butler. What they did, I have no idea, it doesn't say much. But they did something to offend the king, the Pharaoh. They had a dream. Yeah. Joseph interpreted through God. Okay, this is what happened to you. In 3 days, we placed back on top again. Yes. But the other one, you'll be placed on top of a pike. Oh man, I wouldn't want to hear that. 3 days, worried about it, thinking about it. So what happened? One was put back on top again, other than the Pharaoh. The other one on top of a pike. Yeah. He interpreted dreams. He was a dreamer. He was so close to God, he can interpret it. Okay, what do you have? Lord, what do they mean? He didn't interpret it himself. He couldn't do it. No way. He knew he needed God. And he interpreted it right. if you depend on your own thoughts, your own emotions, the dreams interpret wrong. And what happened? Sometimes people share their dreams with me or others. If someone shares a dream and I don't know what they mean, I'm not going to say, I think it means, it may represent this, but I don't know. God didn't tell me, He didn't reveal it to me. Seek God. It means something, it could mean something important. But I'm not going to interpret it if I don't know. I'm not going to make a mistake. I don't want to make a mistake. It could be a pizza dream that you ate with ice cream, a nightmare. But God will reveal it if He wants to. He will. Trust Him. Don't worry. If it's important from Him, He will show a way. Trust in Him. If nothing, maybe it's just a pizza ice cream dream. After the dream, Joseph told the chief butler, please don't forget what I did for you. He was hoping to get out of prison. Yeah. Tell the Pharaoh what I did. Yeah. Did he tell the Pharaoh what happened? No. 2 years he stayed in prison. That must be frustrating. I'm sure Joseph felt, okay, Lord, I'm here. You have a purpose for me. I'm still going to serve you. Full heart for you, Lord. As I read, he didn't do things half-heartedly. He did it with a full heart for God. He put his best effort in there. And now 2 years passed. He didn't lose his faith in God. He still trusted Him. God has a plan for me. I know it. I'm still going to follow Him and do the best I can. I'm sure thoughts were in his head. I'm going to die in a foreign country, in Egypt. My home is over there. I'm going to die here in prison. Doesn't matter. I'm still serving Him. Do you have the heart like that when you're in your valley? Yeah. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 22. Don't put your trust in humans. They are frail as breath. What good are they? Yeah. If you're depending on humans to lift your day up, yeah, not going to always happen. Some people depend on Facebook to lift their day up. Selfie, posted. At the end of the day, I got 2 likes. I'm so ugly. Yeah, can't depend on humans. God created you. You're beautiful. You're perfect the way He made you. Don't depend on humans. They will fail you. But God will never fail you. Now Joseph trusted God. Will He put him on top again? Yes, of course He will. Here's a plan. One thing I like about Joseph, his condition worsened, but his faith and attitude became stronger and stronger. How's the temperature here? You cold? Turn down the temperature. Yeah. I see someone like, it's cold, the conditions here is awful, my faith and attitude is improving, right? Well, that's all right. God didn't forget Joseph. He gave the Pharaoh a dream. Not one dream, but 2 dreams. The cattle, nice, fat cattle, eating. And then seven fat cattle, then 7 skinny cattle that ate the fat cattle. That'd be a bizarre dream, right? He woke up. He went back to sleep again in a dream. I have the verses up here. You can find it in Genesis chapter 41, verse 1 through 7. 2 years later, the Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing beside the Nile, which is the river. 7 healthy-looking, well-fed cattle came up from the Nile. They began to feed on the reeds. After them, 7 cattle, sickly and thin, from the Nile went, and they ate the healthy cattle. And the Pharaoh woke up. They fell asleep again. And he dreamed a second time. 7 heads of grain, plump and ripe, ready, stalking them. After them, 7 heads were thin and scorched by the east wind. The thin grain swallowed up the 7 good grain. The Pharaoh woke up. It was only a dream. But it was not only a dream to him. He was worried. He was concerned. What do these dreams mean? He had that feeling. God didn't let him forget. He was thinking about it. So he asked his people, the magicians, astrologers, whatever he had. They couldn't figure out the dream. They were frustrated. Now, the Egyptians, they worshiped other gods. So it was showing their gods were nothing. They couldn't interpret it. Now, the chief butler, he remembered, after 2 years, about this great man in prison who interpreted dreams. Hey, Joseph, in prison, interpret my dream that I had. I'll be back in the top in 3 days. Another guy right there, that's head's probably over there on the pike over there still. He was right. So he got Joseph, dressed him all nice, shaved his head, got him all ready to face the Pharaoh. He explained his dreams. And you know what Joseph said? You find it for I am not able. It's God who will give you the answer. Yeah. It's God, not me. It's him. After all these years in prison, he was ready. He still had faith in God. He wasn't frustrated like, the Lord. No, he came up and said, it's God that can interpret your dreams. He had so much faith in God still while in prison. Today, in the prison system, they get 3 hot meals a day. They get a nice little cushion, walls, probably a heater, AC, sometimes a TV. And they get to go out and walk, maybe 60 minutes a day, depends on the prison. Also, they could get educated too. They could read books, get a degree in prison. But back in those times, it was just a hard ground, the wall. It was cold. Maybe they didn't have a blanket. It was dark. They probably didn't have light. We had a little light in the corner, maybe. In the bathrooms, you don't want to talk about the bathrooms. They have flushing toilets now. Back then, they didn't. They had a hole that someone cleaned maybe once a month. But Joseph came out like, hi, I'm here to let the Lord interpret your dreams. Trust in God. So we have here, what happened? Joseph ruled over Egypt. The second most important person. Why? Because he was able to interpret the dreams through God. He explained to the Pharaoh that 7 well-fed cows represent 7 years of prosperous years. Everything would be great for 7 years. You'd be celebrating, you have plenty of food, the weather's nice, the crops are growing. It would be great. But the 7 skinny cows that ate the well-fed cow, 7 years of famine. No food, no growth. The weather's probably bad. Scorching. For 7 years, everyone will forget about the good times. So he explained, this is going to happen from God. The Pharaoh and his other people were like, wow, it feels right. Joseph told him, you need a wise man to plan ahead. You need to pick someone. Now these Egyptian people, they despise Hebrew people. You could read in there, they didn't want to eat with them. And they would have had to pick Joseph, a Hebrew boy, to be second in command to run Egypt. That's rare. Why? Because he trusted God. He was a very trustworthy person. 3 times placed in second best. That's pretty awesome. And let him run the nation for 7 years, preparing for the 7 years of famine. So Joseph explained for everyone to get 1/5 of the crops. Gather, 1/5. And it talked about that he filled up the storehouses. And it got close. He counted them until the end. He was like, okay, we can't count anymore. There's so much more than the shores of the beach. There was so much. Now 7 years hit of famine. Everyone needed food, but there was plenty in Egypt to give out. Now Joseph's brothers and his father Jacob, they ran out of food in year 2 of the famine. What are we going to do? I've heard Egypt has food. Go and get food. What are you standing for? We're going to die. Get going. That's what Jacob told his son. Get going. He sent 10 of his sons, but he kept Benjamin, my last son, with Rachel. If you read in chapter 35, I believe it talks about Rachel passed away in birth when she gave birth to Benjamin. So he cared about him. I already lost my other son, Joseph. You 10, go. So they went to meet with Joseph. Joseph recognized them immediately, but the 10 didn't recognize him. I'm sure he looked different. Egyptian, they have that little helmet, the robe, the gold chain, and the makeup. Yeah, the clothes, the fancy robe is all nice. Yeah. They bowed down to him. Joseph, you know what he did? You guys are spies. You hear the final secrets. He accused them. He knew who they were. He had a plan. So he asked him, who's your father? Is this all the sons? No, there's another one at home. So he took one brother, put him in jail. Said, if you want him back, you must send your youngest brother. So they went back with everything, plus the money they gave. They were scared. They got the money back and everything they gave to get all the food. So they told Jacob, keep one of our brothers. He wants us to show Benjamin. But Jacob refused. Let him rot. That's basically what he said. But they ran out of food again. Go get food. I'm not going without Benjamin. Must have Benjamin. So they're thinking about it. So he sent more food, more money, everything, gifts, in exchange for grain. So they got there and showed Benjamin, you're right, okay? Here's your brother back. They gathered everything ready to go. But Joseph, you know what he did? He put his silver cup in Benjamin's sack, his donkey. Hey, what are you doing with that? Accused him of stealing. I wonder if that's Joseph's revenge on them. The brother's like, no, it's not true. And they admitted, God's probably punishing us for something we did a long time ago. How we sold Joseph to slave. Mm-hmm. You know what Joseph did? He revealed himself. I am Joseph, who you sold in slavery. How do you think the brothers felt? Oh man, we're dead for sure. Yeah. See the cupbearer right there with his head on the pike? That's all of us. Boom, 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 there's 10 right there. I'm sorry, 11. I'm sure they were so scared. I mean, this is Joseph. I'm sure he's going to be angry with us. He's going to kill us for sure. Yeah. But you know what Joseph said? Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. He brought me into position so I can save you. He didn't look at it negatively. God let this happen so you, my family, could be saved. Because if Joseph wasn't where he was right now, he would be still over there with his family. And when the famine hit, what happened? They're dead. They were starved to death. Hi. Look, he's like looking. Oh. That's amazing. Think about that. If they didn't sell him, the whole family would be dead. Egypt probably be dead. Because there'd be no Joseph to plan the 7 years of famine. Yeah. Another Noah's Ark flood. Yeah. Because of that, his dream came true. All the brothers were saved. They had to bow to him. Without the dream, there'd be no Israel. There'd be no Jesus. Because they'd be dead. Because Joseph maintained his emotion and trusted God and gave it all to him. He saved his family. He saved Egypt. He saved the line that will reach to Jesus. We need Jesus, right? Without Jesus, we'd be doomed. We'd be stuck in our sins. But Joseph controlled his emotion. Because of that, we are saved. Do you know what this is? A gauge. All of you know you have a car, right? You gas, you have E, you have F, the middle. Most of us live on the middle, right? Or some of you live on the edge by going to E. E is time to fill up. If you're like me, sometimes I'm like driving, I'm E, that gas is expensive, and keep going. I hope I don't break down. There's a cheap one, yes, I pull over. Yeah. My wife's always like, why do you do that? I don't know. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. I've been fortunate not to break down on the freeway. But I know some other people. I don't live on their mistakes. I should. Yeah. John Bloom, he's a pastor. Wisdom from him. I studied about him. He said, God designed your emotion to be a gauge, not a guide. Don't let your emotions guide you. They're your gauge. When you're feeling angry, it lets you know you're feeling angry in this situation. You're feeling happy in this situation. So they're gauges to let you know. And how do you reply to them? How close you're with God. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. Prepare your mind for action and exercise self-control. Put all your hope in His salvation that come with you. Jesus revealed the word. Now, our emotion, if they're hardwired to our flesh, we have a fallen nature. Now, if we get control of Satan, we will sin. We will fail. We will mess up. That's what Satan wants. That's why I talk about don't give Satan a foothold. The door opens a little bit. Satan comes in. Lock him out. Don't let him in. Self-control. Romans chapter 6, verse 12. Do not let sin control the way you live. Do not give in to sinful desires. Emotions are not your boss. They're not. Don't let that become your boss and controlling you. You are the boss of your emotion. Emotions are your reports to you. This is how I'm feeling. How should I react? What does God say? React out of anger. What do? React out of love. If you read, if you're slapped, what do? Punch back? No. Turn the other cheek. Ooh. Slap me again. That's a tough thing to do. If someone takes your jacket, what do? Give them your shirt. If someone forces you to run 1 mile, what do? Run another mile, 2 miles. Yeah. Talks about that. Jesus is the opposite of how your flesh would react. When you're angry, let it go. Sing the Frozen song, let it go. No, yeah. But let it go. React. What would Jesus do? What would Joseph do? When you read about Jesus and Joseph, like, wow. What would the New Testament Joseph do when he found out Mary was pregnant? Off with the head? No. He wanted to let it go silently. He was, hey, she's pregnant. There's someone else. Let's stone her. Joseph was a humble man. Let it go. But God said, no, stay and take care of her. He obeyed God. He didn't let someone, she's pregnant by another man. Not my child. No, Joseph was humble. He was a man of no words. If you read the Bible, he had no words in there. He was a man of action, yes, but no words. I find that fascinating. No words in there. He didn't let his emotions control him. He raised Jesus to how long? I don't know. Doesn't talk about it after 30. Yeah. Don't let your emotions become your boss, control you. You don't want to be like this guy. Don't Hulk out. What if you have a green shirt? You're ready to Hulk out. If you're feeling angry, what do? I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm happy. What do? Go to God. Good times and bad times. Yeah. Fight it with the promise of God. Read about Him. One example I could give you about the gauges. How many of you are hungry right now? The stomach is a little bit. If I took this off, put it on my stomach, you hear, wow, wow. You will, except you deaf people. But if I turn it up all the way, you feel the vibration for sure. You feel that? Sorry, you're like. Okay, now my stomach, it will growl, growl. But when I'm really hungry, it's like, wow, wow. Sometimes my daughter walks by, Daddy, you're hungry. How do you know? I can hear your stomach. Really? You can hear it? Yeah. You hearing people are amazing. You can hear the stomach growl. I can never hear it. Now, when it growls, it's time to do what? Time to eat. So what do? You go and eat. You order your meal and you eat. And you eat. But if you get angry, you lose your temper. But if you're really hungry, you eat. You go to a buffet, you have like 3 or 4 trips. Oh, I regret that. My stomach hurts. Yeah. Same when you lose your temper. Okay, what's the best thing to do? Calm down. Talk it out. Maybe walk away. Calm first. Or if you have a punchy bag at home, punch it. But not a person, please don't. So you control. At the end, you can talk. Same when you're hungry, you eat. If you eat too much, maybe full, or you might throw it out and eat again, right? I actually saw someone throw up and they ate right after that. I'm like, ooh, remember that? You don't remember? Okay, the story is there was a girl that was eating spaghetti. We were at a pizza place. You remember that? And she was wolfing it. I mean, seriously, like, we're like, it's like, oh. And she threw up. We're like, oh, come on. And it was gross. And she went back to her plate again. It's the same way with our emotions sometimes. Again, we lose our temper. We make a mess. And then we blow it up. Then we do it again. Blow it up again. The same concept. Going back to the farm and eating again. Don't do that. Don't let your emotions control you. So you see the comparison? The gauge. Now, how do you manage your emotions? What can you do? 5 things. Depend on God. Satan is beating your emotion. He wants you to get your face away from him. He wants you focusing on God. So if you're like, no way. I'm going to focus on God. Lord, help me. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm depressed. Lord, I'm coming to you. Yeah. The Satan is locked out, banging on the door. Not today, Satan. You just say that. Not today, Satan. 2, plan ahead. If you know something that tends to set off your emotion, plan ahead. Avoid it. Minimize it. If you get stressed because you're taking a test and you wait last minute, plan the week and study. Less emotional frustration. If you have to visit your in-laws, sometimes you're stuck. Pray before. Lord, let me be nice to my mother-in-law. I love my mother-in-law, okay? She's an awesome lady. But yeah, pray before the situation. feeling angry, go to God. Talk to him. He wants to know how you feel, even though he knows. Express. Why are there counselors? Why do they have therapists? What for? Because when you express, you feel better, right? If you have a spouse, or some of you call your mom and dad, Mom, I'm feeling this way. It's okay, baby, it's okay. I'll give you a big hug, and you feel better, right? Same as God, express and God, and you feel better. Some of you express to your friend. Like yesterday, I expressed to Tony, I'm frustrated with the angels. They stink. He's like, don't worry, next year. But Brother Ed's boss is doing much better. It's not fair. Yeah, but that's fine. Oh, yeah, and your Dodgers. Your Dodgers. Yeah. We'll see whether they get into the World Series. Number 4, meditate on his words. The daily bread. Think about it. Think about it. If you read Psalms chapter 119, verse 11, I have hid your words in my heart so I will not sin against you. Put that down. Psalms 119, verse 11. Don't forget that. I have hid your words in my heart so I will not sin against you. That's powerful. You have God's words in your heart, you will not sin against him. Same with Galatians chapter 5. If you're living by the Spirit, you will not satisfy the sins of the flesh. So you see how important his word is. The more you grow with, the closer you are. Not today, Satan, becomes easier to say. Don't open the door for him. Keep it locked. If you have all 4 of those, you can react godly. Someone cuts you off. Praise the Lord. Someone hits you in the back. I'm going to send you to Jesus right now. Not that way. You get out, come out and say, are you okay? Let's collect our insurance. I'll be talking to the insurance agent in a nice way. I'm going to take your house. I'm going to take your car. You know, how you react. That's important. Yeah. When pressure builds up, a balloon, what happens? If it goes up, or if you take a needle, boom. But if you grab the bottom, slowly, okay. God, help me, please. Plan a forward, okay, plan. Pray, Lord, help me. Meditate on his words. And then when it's small, it's not bursting. But if you let it build up, something happens, boom, you're in trouble. That's why it's important. Depend on him. Don't let your emotions control you. Okay. I have this verse here. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5 to 8. That would be important to share. This is what the Lord said. Cursed are those who put their trust in human, rely on their own human strength, and they turn their hearts from God. They're like the stone shrubs in the desert, with no hope for the future. They will live in the barren wilderness, in the salty land. But blessed are those who trust in the Lord, who made the Lord their hope and their confidence. They're like trees planted on the riverbed. They reach deep into the water, the living waters. They're not bothered by the heat or worry about drought. The leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit. If planted in God, His living water, you will not become dry. You will not worry about the drought. Not worried about the heat. Because when the heat hits, you have water. Relax. The roots are deep in God, and they produce fruit. You want good fruit to attract people. So remember that. Now I want to review 3 things what Joseph did. God will guide you if you trusted Him. Joseph trusted God to guide him. He became the second most powerful person. He saved his family. He saved Egypt. He saved the line that reached to Jesus. He trusted God. You trust God, He will guide you. The second thing, Joseph knew when a door closed, another would open. He was sold into slavery, the door closed. Open. Second in command, the commanders of the Egyptian army. And then he was thrown in prison, the door closed. Then another door opened. And the second command of the whole nation of Egypt. Open, close, open, close, open. He trusted God. The third thing, he had iron faith when everything went wrong. Things went wrong for Joseph, but iron, strong faith, he still prospered because he trusted God. You didn't do it for me, Lord. I'm so mad at you. I'm just going to lay in the corner that I know. Okay, Lord, this is who I am right now. I'm serving you. I'm trusting in you. His faith was so strong. So let's have a faith like Joseph. And now let emotions control us. The last quote from Billy Graham. Like Joseph, storing up grain during the years of plenty, to use in the years of famine that lays ahead, that we may store up the truths of God, God's words in our heart, as much as possible. We're prepared for whatever suffering we're called on to endure. I like that quote. Store up His word. Store up faith in everything. When the time hits of suffering, I have iron-like faith. Boom, boom. Emotions. So let's live like Joseph, Jesus, and the other Joseph in the New Testament. Don't let your emotions become your boss. You control them with God, and you will prosper like Joseph did. Ups and downs, God had his back. In your ups and downs, God has your back. Don't forget that. Pray now, close. Lord, we thank you for the awesome example of Joseph, how he lived his life. There's so many times where he could have lost it, but he made and control his emotions. Why? Because he trusted in you. He had iron-like faith. He knew the door would close, and you would open the door. And he trusted in you, and you guided him. Lord, let us apply those things in our lives and continue trusting in you, Lord. To be full of faith, be strong in you, Lord. In the future, there'll be something to happen. Like Billy Graham said, in a time of suffering, hardship, be ready. But as long as we store up your words, our relationship with you will grow strong in you, Lord. That the emotions will not become our boss. Lord, I ask you to bless everyone here, fill them with your spirit, and guide them. And pray in your precious Son's name. Amen. Worship team, have a closing song. Come on up.